Texas has been on track to become a major tech hub with its lack of state income tax and other business incentives. But since the signing of its anti-abortion bill, some tech companies are considering alternatives and workarounds. Joining us now to discuss the controversial new laws and how they could affect business in Texas is business and financial strategist Brent Wilsey, president of Wilsey Asset Management. Thank you so much for coming back and joining us here on BNC. Tell us, is it a smart move for corporations to let social justice issues influence where and how they do business?
Oh, Laverne, that's the million-dollar question, and we've seen more and more of this as time goes on. And I do believe I know why this is happening. Businesses are doing so well. They have so much money on their balance sheets that they have time to focus on things that maybe they should not be touching, because you have many people involved with this. You have your employees of the company who may agree or disagree. You have your customers who may agree or disagree. And let's not forget about many of these companies are public companies. What about the shareholders? I really believe that companies should stay out of politics unless it really benefits or hurts their product or their services going forward.
Interesting, your perspective there. I want to run down some of the names, some of the familiar names that are handling the new voting rights and abortion laws just enacted in the states. The software company Salesforce is offering to relocate employees in Texas who want to leave because of the new anti-abortion law. Then there's Match.com. That dating service, of course, is creating a fund to cover the cost of abortion services for employees who have to travel out of the state to get the procedure. And then there's Bumble. That's another relationship app. It's based in Texas, and it's promising financial support for employees seeking abortions. And then the big one, Dell Computers. Well, they're not taking sides or making direct statements about the legislation, but instead, the company is letting employees know that, I'm quoting here, the company believes in the right to free, fair, and equitable access to voting. Our goal is to give employees more coverage when it comes to health, not less. That's the end of the quote. All right, Brent, what do you think of these creative ways that these corporations are coming up with to deal with the laws rather than just packing up and moving out?
Well, I'm going to say I don't hold any of these companies in our portfolio. I'm happy about that, because when I look at what these companies are doing, this is taking expenses away from what they should be doing. Again, I'm speaking as a shareholder. If I have a company, I don't want my company deciding on things that I may agree or disagree with. So I do believe these companies are way off base by paying for people to do like the abortions, go out of state and so forth. I don't see how that's any of the corporation's business. Their job, and again, I'm speaking as a shareholder, is to run the business, sell product, make money, increase their earnings, not be so concerned about, somebody can't get an abortion here, they should go there. Please stay out of the personal lives of people.
But Brent, you could also say that they're just doing this openly, and for years, big businesses, huge corporations, have been lobbying governments and elected officials behind the scenes to pay politicians to move forward their agenda. So this is not new. It's just that this is out in the open.
Right. And it is not new, and it doesn't make it right, in my opinion, because, again, these are businesses, and the CEO, the board directors, they may have certain things that they think are important. Well, what about, again, maybe the rest of the employees don't agree with that, or your customer base, or again, the shareholders who invest in this business to say, here's my money, please make it grow because I need to retire 20, 30 years down the road. So when businesses get into other things that they're not in their business, that does not affect them either way, because again, if this would have hurt their business, they had some involvement with it, please, by all means, get involved. But I can't say how these four businesses that you brought up, how it's going to affect or improve the profits or their product that they're doing. It's just, I really think that businesses need to keep their money to run the business and stay away from politics. And that doesn't mean it's not happened in the past, doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. But I do believe, as a shareholder of the companies we own, I don't want them getting involved in politics that may be different than what I believe.
And Brent, that's an interesting point, because again, and I hear your point, but again, now it's out in the open, so the shareholder actually knows most of the time the shareholder does not know the backdoor dealings that the company is doing with politicians or elected officials. So in some sense, this is transparency. So now you know whether or not you want to invest in this company. So isn't that better for the shareholder?
Yes, and a lot of this information has been there, but to be honest, the average investor is not going to find it. It's usually buried in maybe like the 23rd, 24th page of the 10Q, 10K filing with the SEC. Most people won't find it. We do actually do that deep when we do the investing. But the thing is, I do like that it is coming out for people to actually see that it's positive so they can make a decision. Do they want to invest in this company or do they want to use that company's products? So I do applaud that it's becoming more public, but it's not for all companies because we have these few companies. So again, that's good there, but what about the companies that's not? And that's why I'm saying businesses should stay out of such topics because they can't please everybody. Everybody's not going to be happy with it. So the best I will say on this is that, yeah, I'm glad they're announcing it and shareholders and customers can vote with their feet.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what, Brent, I think your opinion on businesses should stay out of it is a great opinion, but I guess it looks like this is the trend that's moving forward. And again, it's out in the open. It's nothing new. It's just that it's out in the open. But Brent, thank you as always for joining us. Appreciate you having us here, being here with us, and have a great weekend.